Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Bonython Hall and welcome to your Golden Jubilee reunion. My name is Leah Grantham. I'm the Chief External Relations Officer here at the University of Adelaide, and it gives me great pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies for today's events. I'd like to acknowledge the Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, the Honourable Catherine Branson, ACQC, our Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Peter Hoy, AC, the classes of 1970 and 1971, family and friends, university colleagues, distinguished guests. I also acknowledge and pay respects to the Kaurna people, the traditional custodians whose ancestral lands we gather on today. We acknowledge their deep feelings of attachment and relationship to the country, and we respect and value their past, present, and ongoing connection to the land and cultural beliefs. To formally welcome us to Kaurna country today, it gives me great pleasure to invite a very proud representative of the Kaurna community to the stage, Robert Taylor.
Nyankinyamena, Namani, Manindabuni Jalukuyata, Tandaganya, Ganayata, Nyanyai Robert Kari Karamil Taylor, Nyanyarinjiri Naranga Kumagana Miena, Maninyalu Tampidi Gana Miena, Kuminalupana Yatanga and Berendi, Tabandalo Bukyana, Burkana, Kumagana Miena Yadra, Nayakandalia, Jungandalia, Nachalya. Ladies and gentlemen, did you understand all that? Not quite. Can anybody else feel that draft in here? I can a little bit. Well, the language I just spoke is the language of my ancestors being the Kaurna people. The Kaurna people, of course, being the traditional custodians of this place here, we now call Adelaide. Yeah? Quite a funny word, that one, Adelaide. Of course, it's only been known as Adelaide for about 40 seconds in the course of history. But for thousands of years, Kaurna people and surrounding tribes have been known as Tarndaganya. Can you pronounce that one? Tarndaganya. And Tarnda is the big red kangaroo. This place we meet on today is the dreaming place of the big red kangaroo. Ganya is the rock. There used to be many rocks along the River Torrens many years ago, but you don't really see many left anymore because they removed a lot of the rocks back in the 1800s to help build churches such as Trinity Church, and they exchanged them for rations. So you don't really see many rocks around Adelaide anymore. A lot of cement, don't get me wrong, but not too many rocks. But the name still stands as Ganya, Tarndaganya, the traditional name of Adelaide. So on behalf of my Kaurna elders and ancestors, it's a pleasure to be here today and welcome you and acknowledge that this is the traditional land of the Kaurna people. My name is Robert Taylor. I come from 3 different Aboriginal groups, the Ngarrindjeri from the Coorong, the Naranga from the Yorke Peninsula, and the Kaurna people, of course, from this place here in Adelaide. So on behalf of my Kaurna elders and ancestors, once again, I extend a warm welcome to you all here today onto Kaurna land. When I do my welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I don't stand at you and do my welcome at you. I stand alongside you, yeah? We're all brothers and sisters. We all live in this place today. We all call this place home. So it's very important that moving forward, we all unite and walk together in harmony, yeah? We know the past. We mustn't forget the past, but we mustn't dwell on the past either. So I stand alongside each and every one of you when I do my welcome. And I hope for those of you that have travelled far and wide to be here today, while you're back here in Adelaide, I hope you have a warm time. Having said that, I call upon the good spirit of my ancestors through song. The acoustics are great in this hall, so I love to sing when I come to this hall. But this is a special song where I call upon the good spirit of our ancestors to come here, bless this land, and bless each and every one of us here today. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm not quite Guy Sebastian, but I do feel that the ancestors would have heard that one, yeah? It's very important that we call upon our Bukayana, the good spirit of our ancestors, to come here and bless each and every one of us here today. I'd like to thank you all for inviting me out here. It does mark a special occasion. Once again, my name is Robert Taylor. I'm here on behalf of Kumakaru Cultural Services. Kumakaru means one blood in Kaurna language, so we have a dance group and we run a lot of cultural activities out here in the community, and it's a pleasure to be here continuing something that was passed on to me from my elders who unfortunately are no longer with us. So it's an honour to be able to be standing here before you today, speaking my traditional language and give us all a warm welcome to country. Having said that, I say Nalchalya, which means thank you, and Nakura, which means we'll see you later, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Nalchalya, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robert. 2021 marks the 34th year that we've held the Golden Jubilee reunion, with 2020 being the first year that we've actually missed it, and 2021 being the first year that we've had two classes celebrating at once. We are really delighted that you could join us today. Today we have 63 graduates from the class of 1970 and 49 from the class of 1971. It's a great privilege for my colleagues and I to be able to help you celebrate again and reflect on your time at the university and how this has shaped your life over the last 50 years. To formally welcome you this morning, I'd now like to invite our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Hoy.
Thank you, Leah. Chancellor, graduates of 1970 and 1971, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the class of 1970 and the class of 1971 back to the University of Adelaide as Golden Jubilee alumni today. We were, as you just heard, unable to hold this event last year due to the COVID pandemic, but it's wonderful to be able to gather together and combine those great cohorts this year. This is my first Golden Jubilee as a Vice-Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, and it's particularly nice that it actually coincides with the Chancellor's 50th year anniversary of the conferral of her first degree. We're here to celebrate your time at the University of Adelaide and your many personal and professional achievements that followed. Back in the 1970s, the university did not offer a graduation ceremony to diploma graduates. We're delighted that we can offer you the opportunity to put on an academic gown and receive your certificate in Bonython Hall, albeit 50 years later. When we look back to 1970-71, in many ways it seems like another world. John Gordon was the Prime Minister of Australia, replaced by William McMahon in March 1971. Jameen Greer's book, The Female Eunuch, was published in 1970. The wearing of seatbelts in motor vehicles became compulsory in Victoria and New South Wales in 1971. In the Summertime by The Mixtures and Eagle Rock by Daddy Cool topped the Australian music charts. The Beatles broke up in 1970, and in 1971, the organisation Greenpeace was founded. Here at the University of Adelaide, things were also vastly different to today. Our Vice-Chancellor was Sir Geoffrey Badger. We had a total of 8,564 students enrolled in 1970 and 8,737 in 1971. Today, in 2021, we number just over 29,000 students enrolled. Today, we're celebrating the power of a great education and the opportunities it brings. I'm sure you all have made a strong contribution to society and to your loved ones since you graduated. I hope you all would say that the University of Adelaide has played at least a small part in your success. Your achievements are certainly part of this university. We are delighted to have the opportunity today to renew and strengthen our connection with you and to facilitate your meeting up with old friends. Thank you for attending. We hope the day is a memorable one, just like 50 years ago.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. Our guest speaker today is our Chancellor, the Honourable Catherine Branson AC QC, who, as you just heard, is a member of the class of 1970, graduating in law in that year and in arts in 1977. At just 35, Ms Branson became Crown Solicitor of South Australia and Chief Executive Officer of the Attorney General's Department, the first female Crown Solicitor in Australia and the first female permanent head of a government department in South Australia. Ms Branson served for more than 14 years as a judge of the Federal Court of Australia and as President of the Australian Human Rights Commission was a determined advocate for the disadvantaged. Prior to her appointment as judge, Ms Branson practiced as a barrister at the Adelaide Bar, principally in the areas of administrative law, including discrimination law and commercial law. She was appointed a Queen's Counsel in 1992. Ms Branson received a Distinguished Alumni Award from the University of Adelaide in 2011 in recognition of her outstanding contribution to Australian law and human rights. In 2018, Ms Branson was awarded the Companion of the Order of Australia for eminent services to the judiciary and to law, and as an advocate for human rights and civil liberties, to judicial administration and professional development, and to governance roles in tertiary education. Please join me in welcoming the Chancellor to give the Golden Jubilee address.
Thank you very much, Leah. I'm delighted to be here to welcome the class of 1970 and 1971 to this Golden Jubilee reunion. I acknowledge that many of our colleagues have not been able to join us today because of COVID-19, and we will miss them. As you've heard, it's a very special day for me and a special honour, having received my law degree in 1970, to be here today in a dual capacity. First, as a 50-year graduate from last year, and then as the Chancellor of the University of Adelaide. I'm looking forward to catching up with all my colleagues from 1970 and indeed 1971 when these formalities are behind us. I'm sure we're all finding it hard to accept that it's more than 50 years since we first came to this place. We were, it's worth remembering, I think, a fortunate cohort of students. We essentially got our higher education for free. It was easier for us than for current students to spend most of our time, during term time, here on the campus, not only studying, but taking part in sports events, social events, debating, all of the social clubs the university offers. And on graduation, we also benefited from the fact that there was an abundance of jobs for people with a graduate degree. And as I look back, this might provide at least part of the explanation of why, when I think of what are my memories from 1970 and the few years before, I find that not much of them have got to do with study. I remember attending lots of balls. I remember participating in the law review, going to lunchtime movies, and I have a special memory of watching The Pink Panther, starring Peter Sellers again and again and again. Of course, the Braggs building, a wonderful building, now stands in the site of the old Union Hall. Things must move forward. And there have been other visible changes to this campus. While most of us spent a lot of our time in the cafeteria adjoining the cloisters, students of today gather in the much more central and no doubt more convenient wonderful student hub. Our place of lunch, coffee, chocolates is now the university bar, I don't think there was any university bar in existence back when we were students. And there are other significant new buildings. We have in Carney Wardley, between the Maths Lawns and Engineering North. We have the wonderful new Health and Medical Sciences building at the western end of North Terrace. Each of these buildings has facilities in it that were barely imaginable, many of them not imaginable, I think, back when we were undergraduates. But of course, as I walk around the campus, particularly on sunny days, and see students socialising, perhaps studying a bit on the wonderful grounds, the lovely lawns of this campus, I'm reminded, as they say, that the more things change, the more they stay the same, and even flares, I notice, are making a comeback. But let me make now just a few more serious observations about changes to higher education, that landscape over the last 50 years. Perhaps the most significant change, or at least the one that's front of mind for me, and I know our Vice-Chancellor, is that when we were undergraduates, that is me, he's rather younger, when I was an undergraduate, when we were undergraduates, this university was extremely well funded. Indeed, the Chancellor at the time, Dr. J.J. Beret, noted in an address he gave in 1983 that in 1968, the university was dealing with problems arising from affluence. How happy Peter Hoy and I would be to have the same problems. Australian higher education has changed a lot over the last 50 years, and much of that change has been positive. In particular, there is much more equitable access to higher education. Over 36% of Australians between the ages of 15 and 64 now have qualifications at least at bachelor level. And women have graduated in larger numbers than men for a number of years. There's been notable change in the focus of universities. I personally doubt that the romantic ideal of the university is a self-governing community of teachers and scholars freely pursuing their own interests ever truly reflected reality. But assuming that it did, that concept of the university fails to accommodate the contemporary expectations of government and of the broader community, that universities today will advance the public interest, including through preparing students for useful careers. And today, universities must make difficult strategic decisions. Decisions not only within disciplines, but across their institutions as a whole. High-quality teaching and research are becoming more and more expensive. Societal problems are increasingly multidisciplinary, and focus on academic productivity is unavoidable. Modern universities need to make choices about fields in which to focus their endeavours. But effective university leadership need not involve abandoning the traditional and basic values of a university. This university's core business has not changed over the last 5 decades. The sole object of this university remains the advancement of learning and of knowledge. That is, teaching, passing on knowledge, and research generating new knowledge. Indeed, we are presently contemplating organisational change that will allow us to direct an even higher proportion of our total funding to our core business of teaching and research. But how we undertake that core business has necessarily shifted over the past 50 years as the environment in which the university operates has evolved. In the contemporary environment, it's critical that we focus on graduate skills, real-world impacts, and the engagement with industry, business, governments, and the community. And here at the University of Adelaide, we are doing just that. Consequently, the University of Adelaide is now a significant contributor to the South Australian economy, both through our world-class research as well as through the social and economic contributions of our students and our staff. Of course, I do not pretend that this university and the Australian higher education sector more generally are not currently facing difficulties. Of course we are. We are certainly being tested by financial challenges exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. And this university has had some well-publicised problems of its own that we are addressing with determination. I don't underestimate the significance of these challenges, but I do have confidence in this university's senior leadership team, led by our new Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Hoy, and in its governance body, the University Council. We are committed to improving our culture, particularly so far as women and girls and minority groups are concerned. But of course, we've not been alone in finding that we have problems in this area. Other institutes of higher education, the professions, Parliament, sporting bodies, indeed society as a whole, faces exactly the same cultural problems. The University's Council accepts that it carries ultimate responsibility for this institution's culture, and we are working with management, students and staff to strengthen that culture and to improve our processes supporting all members of our community. As part of that endeavour, we have adopted a staff values and behaviours framework. The 5 values agreed upon by our staff and endorsed by the University's Council are integrity, respect, collegiality, excellence, and discovery. These values are now our touchstone. We are committed to keeping them front of mind, particularly when we must take difficult decisions. So let me look perhaps a little to the future. In 1970 and 1971, we left this place as fresh new graduates, unsure, I think, of where life would take us. I certainly was. I had a law degree, but I doubted that I would ever practice the law. The possibility that I might stand here 50 years later as Chancellor of this university certainly did not ever occur to me. I doubted it occurred to anyone. I'm fairly certain that most of you, the graduates of 1970 and 1971, have similarly experienced possibilities opening up to you that, without the fine education that you received at this university, would never have come your way. All of our lives have taken many and interesting twists and turns since we graduated here 50 years ago. But the university itself has grown and it's changed in that time, but it has not moved away from its core values. The things that make this the University of Adelaide. Our central purpose of teaching and research, the preparing of students to become the outstanding leaders of tomorrow, is unchanged. And there are objective measures of this university's success from which we take comfort. The latest rankings from the Times Higher Education have seen us reach number 111 in the world and number 7 in Australia. This is an outstanding result. We have risen almost 100 places in 8 years. We've also been listed as South Australia's #1 university for graduate employability in the 2022 QS rankings. And we're increasing our efforts to strengthen our links with our broader community, the community of which you, as our alumni, are such a critical part. This university is a wonderful, indeed it's an invaluable South Australian institution. We can be proud of what it has achieved over the past 50 years and excited about what it can achieve in the next 50 and beyond. I hope that you will share my eagerness to identify ways in which we can all help guarantee the future of this university, ensure that it continues to flourish well into the future. I look forward to celebrating with you all this shared 50th anniversary, even though for some of us it was delayed by a year. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. Golden Jubilee graduates, today we celebrate the days in 1970 and 1971 when you received your parchment and embarked on your careers as freshly minted University of Adelaide graduates. Some of you might remember that moment like it was yesterday, while others might have missed the chance the first time around. But one thing is certain, the thrill of receiving your testament, regardless of the circumstances, is a special moment and one that we hope to recapture today. I now call on the Vice-Chancellor to announce the names of our graduates and the Chancellor to present the commemorative certificates.
Thank you, Leah. Chancellor, I wish to present to you the graduates and diplomates from 1970 and 1971. To the degree of Bachelor of Agricultural Science, John Byrne. Associate Professor Peter Dry, AM. To the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Grant Chapman. Suzanne Coyne Nee Murray. And I should have said that Grant Chapman also, in 1971, was admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, and that, no, that's fine. Julian Houghton, Nee Peace. Also in 1971 to the Diploma in Education. Michael Saxa, OAM. Dr. Eula Schuster. Also in 1971 to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours. Gwila Tiva. Julie Wickett Nee Johns. To the degree of Bachelor of Dental Surgery, Emeritus Professor Alistair Goss. Dr. Anthony Lake, AM. Dr. Bruce Noble. Dr. Andrew Warren. Dr. Y. Kwong Yuen. To the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Gary Cornelius, also in 1971, to the degree of Bachelor of Economics Honours. To the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Dr. Peter Balan, OAM. To the degree of Bachelor of Laws, the Honourable Catherine Branson, ACQC, Ni Rayner. I just have to find my place again here. To the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours, Professor Robert Fowler. To the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Associate Professor Robert Atkinson, AM. Dr. Tai Sun Chan. Dr. David Close. Dr. Richard Hamilton, MD. Professor Robert Heddle. Dr. Ian Kerr. Dr. Graham McClay. Dr. Terence Pouris. Associate Professor John Swiggers, AM. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Christine Crosby Nee Wilson, also in 1971 to the degree of Bachelor of Music Honours. To the degree of Bachelor of Pharmacy, Helen Hall Nee Cox. Annette Kinney Nee Shaw. Lawrence Lucas. Emeritus Professor Michael Roberts. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Elizabeth Balan Nee Gollard. And Elizabeth also in 1971 was admitted to the Diploma in Education. Linda Blake, knee short. Susan Dorney Mackenzie, also in 1971 to the Diploma in Education. Pauline Dolling, nee Holloway. Meredith Geary, nee Parrott, also in 1970 to the Diploma in Teaching, Secondary General. Dr. Roderick Hill, also in 1971 to the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours. Jeffrey Pitt. Ian Rourke. Stephen Tucker, also in 1971 to the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Electrical with Honours. Dr. John Turner, also in 1971 to the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours. To the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours, Dr. Colin Dolling. Dr. Christopher Doughty. To the degree of Bachelor of Technology, John Peterson. To the degree of Bachelor of Technology Civil, Demetrios Poupoulas. And Trevor Stitston. To the degree of Bachelor of Technology Mechanical, Cosmo Amato. Robert Munzberg. To the Diploma in Education, Malcolm Lindqvist. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Peter Brooker. To the degree of Master of Engineering Chemical, Anthony Young. To the degree of Master of Science, Brian Walter. To the Roseworthy Diploma in Agriculture, Anthony Bass. Professor Wayne Hine. Wonderful. To the degree of Bachelor of Architecture, Dennis Harrison. And Gavin Ranger. To the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Pamela Cashin Nee Harold. And Philip Cashin, also 1971, to the Diploma in Teaching, Secondary General. Alan Chase. Elizabeth Davis Nee Moxon. Anton Hordio. Christine Lincoln Nee Hall. Emerita Professor Rosemary Owens AO Nee Landers. To the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours, Adjunct Associate Professor Adrian Vickery, PhD. To the degree of Bachelor of Dental Surgery, Dr. Andrew Trott. To the degree of Bachelor of Economics, the Honourable Stephen Baker. Susan Hancock Nee Barrett. James Walk. To the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Civil, Noel O'Callaghan. To the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Civil with Honours, Rodney Hook. And Stephen West. To the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Electrical, Ian Foster. To the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Master Peter Norman, OAM. To the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Dr. Neil Elson. Dr. John Mansfield. Dr. Richard Nunn. Dr. Robert Penhall. Dr. Kim Perks. Emeritus Professor Peter Roberts Thompson, AM. Dr. Peter Tamblin. Dr. Edward Vesey. And Dr. John Whitford. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Neville Hannaford, OAM. And Brenton Hay. To the degree of Bachelor of Pharmacy, Kingsley Coulthard. John Garcia. Pamela Stanford Nee Roberts. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Peter Wade. And Dr. Ian Walsh. To the degree of Bachelor of Technology Civil, Campbell Mackey. To the degree of Bachelor of Technology Electronic, Terence Cody. To the degree of Bachelor of Technology Mechanical, Brian Teagle. To the Diploma in Physiotherapy, Janet Bonner, Nee Woodard Knight. And Dr. Christine Kirby. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Malcolm Golly. Oh, that was quick. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Science, Dr. David Gambling. To the Roseworthy Diploma in Agriculture, Brian Ashton. Lachlan McLaren. Timothy Prance. And David Spencer, JP. To the degree of Bachelor of Laws, David Burrell. Thank you, Chancellor. Please join me in applauding the achievements of our graduates from 1970 and 1971.
Thank you, Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor. As our ceremony draws to a close, I would like just to take a short moment to thank and acknowledge those people who have made today so special. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you who have taken the time to provide photographs and stories for the commemorative booklet, which you'll receive digitally in the next week or so. A special mention and thank you must also go to our extraordinary volunteer, Ellen Randva, who spent a considerable amount of time with us compiling submissions for the booklet. An event like Golden Jubilee is nearly a year in the making, and this one has been too. Thank you for your patience, and to those of you who have assisted in the search for finding missing graduates. You will shortly be asked to stand as the official party leaves the stage and exits through the western doors. Graduates will follow from the front row to the back and exit via the eastern doors, just over here. Just like the first time around in 1970 and 71, guests are requested to wait until the graduates have left the hall, and then you can exit via either side of the hall. We will then convene at the front of Bonython Hall for the official photograph. First for the 1970s, followed by the photograph for the 1971 class. And the front doors to the hall will be closed for this. A copy of the photograph will be sent to you with the digital commemorative booklet. Graduates will then be able to return to the hall and return borrowed gowns after both of the group photographs have been taken. Following all of that, we'll return to the hall for a light lunch. And then we'll have some tours. It's going to be a busy day, isn't it? Thank you to everyone involved in this morning's ceremony. In particular, can I thank my colleagues in the External Relations branch for all of the work that they do to bring this event to the fore today. I really hope you enjoy the rest of your Golden Jubilee Reunion Day. Can I now ask you to please be upstanding for the academic recession? Thank you.